Hey there, coaching clients. We are back here with coaching session number 3. All right, so in today's session, you guys are going to learn, and what we're going to have you implement is I'm going to have you guys start logging your food if you guys want to get some help with your food intake every single week. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about the biggest mistake people make when they try to lose weight. I'm going to show you guys how creating rules and structure will help you and allow you to achieve your weight loss goals. And I'm going to help you guys create a plan of attack that's going to help you lose weight. And we're going to talk about your eating emergency kit. So let's hop into it. So I'm going to have you guys start logging your food if you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to get some help with your nutrition, which hopefully all of you do, because again, you're all here trying to lose weight, and nutrition's 80% of your results. So it's really important. So what I would have you guys do is create an account in myfitnesspal.com. It's a totally free app, and you can put it right on your phone, and it's really simple and easy to implement. So I've used it for, 4 or 5 years now with my clients. So create an account with MyFitnessPal if you want to get some help logging your food. Then what you need to do after you create your account, you need to go ahead and search for me on their app, and you need to add me as a friend and friend request me on there. Now there's 2 ways you guys can find me. The first one is with my username. You can just type in Sean2122, or you can type in my email, sean.eichhorn@yahoo.com. If you guys search for me that way when you get inside the app, just friend request me then, and I'll friend request you back. And then what you want to do then is once you create your account, you want to make sure you go into your settings and then go under diary settings and make sure you click where it says let your friends view your diary, and then make sure you save your changes. Once you do that, then I can be able to go into your nutrition journal. I can see what you're eating every week. And what I'll have you guys do if you want to get some help with this is just log an entire day of what you're eating for 1 day every single week. Just do it once a day. You don't have to do it every single day. I mean, I highly suggest that you do, because if you're logging your food every day, you're much more aware of what's going into your mouth, and also helping keep a track of calories and stuff. That'll help you. So you don't have to do it, but I suggest that you do it. But if you want to get help with this, just log 1 day once a week, and that way when we do our Zoom calls on Monday evenings, every other Monday, I can hop into your food journal, in your nutrition journal there, and I can see what you're eating, and if you're making mistakes that you're not aware of, I can correct them for you and give you some ideas and some advice. The other thing I want to talk really quick about is the emergency eating kit. Now, one thing, if you're a nurse, I train mostly nurses, I always hear nurses, they're always complaining typically about bad food in the break room. A lot of the doctors buy nurses pizza, hospitals, your employers or buy you guys pizza and put it in the break room and stuff that's not great for you. But I want to let you guys know, if there's bad food in the break rooms, there's no reason why you can't have good food in the break rooms, good healthy food as well. There's no reason why you can't do that, and just make a choice. So this emergency eating kit, I did post this in the Facebook group. If you guys want to go ahead and look for it, you can. It's under the Files tab. But what the emergency eating kit is, it's going to help you guys always have healthy food around at work. The other thing I want to point out is you got to remember is that you are the CEO of your life. Everything that happens to you in your life is the direct relationship of how much or how little effort you put into something. So again, if there's bad food around and there's good food around, you just need to make the right decision, and hopefully you will choose the healthy food. So what is the emergency eating kit? Well, it's certain foods that you always have at work just in case you need them. If you can't have one of your planned meals, if you plan something to eat and you can't have it, you can always reach to your emergency eating kit and get something that's going to satisfy you until you get to your next meal. And then get your coworkers on board with this and create a team to help you guys succeed. And if you haven't seen the emergency eating kit yet in the membership site or in the Facebook group, I gave you guys it's like 4 or 5 pages, a list of really quick, easy foods to make, and they're really quick and easy to eat as well. So it's perfect if you're a busy nurse. So again, you guys can get that inside your membership site under this video, and then I'll post it in the bonus video as well. If you have problems finding it, again, you can just ask me in the Facebook group as well. Or again, you guys can go in the Coach Sean's Facebook group and go under the File tab, and it'll be under there as well. Now, the biggest mistake that most people make when they're trying to lose weight and get back in shape is they don't have a structured plan, and once they implement that plan, they don't stay disciplined enough to go ahead and keep and stick with that plan. So I always like to tell my clients, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. most people, when they're trying to lose weight and get back in shape, they just run around like a chicken with its head cut off. They're running all over the place. They don't know where they're coming or going. They don't have any goals. They have no direction. And that's the biggest mistake. You need to have some kind of plan to keep you moving towards your 4-week goals, which will help you move to your 6-month goals, which will help you move to your 12-month goals. You got to have a plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So if you're going to succeed, you need a daily plan. So a daily plan is, everything that you're going to do during the day to help you achieve your goals. You need an eating plan. You got to know when you're going to eat and what you're going to eat. You need like a stress management plan. You need a sleep plan. You need a grocery shopping plan. And we're going to talk about a lot of this today, but you really, really need to plan out everything. So today what I'm going to talk about mostly is I'm going to talk about your eating plan, and we'll talk a little bit about exercise. Now, when you guys create a plan, what you're doing is you're creating structure in your life. And structure is ultimately going to give you the freedom because, you're going to achieve your goals and your whole life is going to change. So what you need to do, again, is create some structure and create it by having a set of rules for your life. When you do this, it liberates you and allows you to achieve your big goals and your big dreams. Now, when you have rules for your life, it's the most important step, and because it's going to get you more productive and you're going to be less stressed when you create new rules. So let me give you guys an example. I used to drink a lot when I was in my 20s. I used to love going out to the bars and socializes and going out and have a lot of fun. But ultimately, it just didn't move me towards my number one goal in my life. And that was to become a very successful personal trainer and a coach. So it ultimately didn't move me towards my goals. So I created a rule. And my rule was that I don't have more than 2 drinks in one evening or one setting, no matter what day or week it is, where I'm at. I'd never have more than 2 drinks in one sitting. And I've committed to this rule, and I believe in it, and I follow it like it's a law, and if I break the law, I go to jail. Now, is that odd? Is it extreme? Perhaps. But if you want an extraordinary body and an extraordinary life, you got to take action steps that ordinary people wouldn't even think about taking. So you guys got to, first of all, create some new rules for your life if you're going to start losing weight consistently. So what new rules must you guys create? Well, let me give you some examples. You guys are going to ultimately have to create your own new rules. But let's say you're a stress eater right now. Number one, you got to start telling yourself, I no longer am a stress eater. When I get in a stressful situation, I'm just going to stick to my eating plan, and I'm not going to go ahead and consume a bunch of bad food just because I'm under stress. Maybe you eat a lot of fast food right now. Maybe that's one of the main reasons why you've started gaining weight over the past few years. Well, now you're going to create a new rule that says I only eat fast food on my free day. Remember, 1 day a week, you guys get to have a little splurge day. That way you don't feel deprived all the time. So maybe that's going to be one of your new rules. Maybe you guys don't plan or prep any food out at all right now. Like I said, maybe you're running around like a chicken with its head cut off when you're at work. You have no eating plan. Well, maybe you're going to create a new rule now that you're going to plan your whole entire week out ahead of time for eating the days that you're not working. And you're going to prep your food on the days that you're not working as well. These are all new rules that you're going to create. Now, again, these are just examples. You guys are going to have to create your own rules. But if you guys want some help with this, you guys can go ahead and post in the Facebook group again, reach out to me, and then we'll all work together to create some new rules for you if you're struggling with this. But once you create these new rules, you got to live by them for the rest of your life. You can't create new rules and then go ahead and, 4 or 5 months later, just get back to where you started from. Again, you'll never continue in the right direction again. Once I told myself many years ago, it's over 20 years now, that I was only going to have 2 cocktails in one sitting, that's how it is now for the rest of my life. I've done it for over 20 years. And I'm very happy that I chose that because it's helped me out tremendously, that new rule in my life. So you guys need to create some new rules. And when you create some new rules, it's going to create structure in your life. And that structure is going to get habits, and habits are going to give you guys success. So here's how you guys are going to benefit when you start creating new rules. You're going to have a lot less regrets. Your life will begin to move in a positive direction towards your new future self. You're going to have a strong framework for success. You're going to have less guilt, fear, frustration, and worry. So, one thing for sure what you guys all should try to do is create a new eating plan and a new rule for your eating plan. Now, here's what I suggest. The days that you don't work, on your days off, you should plan out and prep for the upcoming week. So what you guys need to do is, number one, if you don't have a planner or a schedule, some kind of a planner, you need to get one. Now, this could be, you could use the calendar like on your phone. I myself like to use, I'm I'm almost, at the day of this recording, I'm almost 50 years old, so I'm like old school. So I like to use just a regular, paper planner that I put on my desk. But what you need to do is you need to go ahead, the first thing you do is get out your planner, and then you need to go ahead and look at your work schedule, and you need to write down your whole entire work schedule for the next week. All right, that's really, really important. You need to go ahead and write down what time you're working at. If you're working the day shift, the night shift, afternoon shift, you need to go ahead and do that. Then you need to write down in there what days you're going to go ahead and do your fasting. If you are doing fasting, again, you don't have to do fasting on this program. But again, typically the people who do it see a lot better weight loss success. So what you want to do is write down the days that you're going to do your fasting. I highly suggest that you guys keep it to the same day and week every single week so that you just know that those days are your fasting days. Like for me, when I fast from Monday night to Tuesday night, and I fast from Wednesday night to Thursday night. I just know those are my fasting days. I don't have to think about anything. I just know I'm not going to eat that during that day for that. I'm going to have that one meal at night at 6 p.m., and that's all I got to worry about. So it's really super and it's really easy. But keep it the same day every single week. Those 2 days every single week. It just keeps structure. And again, structure is going to help you guys build habits, and that's going to help give you success. So write down the days that you're going to, plan the whole week out ahead of time. Write down what days you're going to do your fasting. Plan out your meals, what you're going to eat for the week. Remember, try to get the correct combination of carbs and protein. Now again, this might be a little bit challenging at work, but I'm going to show you guys how to make it a little bit easier with what I'm teaching you in this video today. Now the other great thing is, if you have a good plan, when you get off track, a plan will show you how to get back on track again. But again, if you don't have a plan, you're running around like a chicken with its head cut off. All right, the next thing you need to do is write out your grocery list then. And then you need to go ahead and go buy the food, or go ahead and order the food and have it delivered to your house. I suggest you guys get it delivered. It just saves time, makes things so easy. Every grocery store pretty much has food delivery these days. So go ahead and do that. It keeps it really, really simple and easy. Now again, we're talking about these are the days that you're not working. These are, so let's say for example, let's say you work Monday through Friday, you're working the day shift. So on Saturday morning, what I would do right away in the morning when you get up is get out your planner, or whatever days that you're off, and plan out your whole entire work for the next week. You're going to plan out when you're going to do your fast days. You're going to plan out what you're going to eat and what time you're going to eat them at. And you're going to plan out your grocery list and buy the food. Once that food gets to your house then, or when you get home, you're going to start prepping for the week. Now what I suggest is try to eat a lot of the similar foods during the week and just really keep it really simple and easy. You can always switch it up on your days off, and then you can switch the food that you're eating from week to week. But, if you're prepping food, if you're going to eat a chicken breast, prepare a couple chicken breasts ahead of time. It just keeps it so simple and easy. You can keep it in Tupperware and keep it in your fridge. But try and eat a lot of the similar things throughout the week. It keeps it simple and also saves a little bit of money, too, on the grocery costs. And then write down in your planner what and when you're going to eat. And again, we're going to talk more about this in a second and how to do it. But again, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You guys will get sick of me saying this, but it's so true. So carry that plan around with you everywhere. Look at it a couple times during the day. And again, start creating some new rules and start creating some new structure. And when you do that, it's going to help you guys achieve your weight loss goals. So here's an example. This is just to give you guys some ideas, get your head spinning a little bit, your brain thinking about some things. Here's an example day shift eating schedule. So let's say you work the day shift from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. This is, what I would recommend or some suggestions. But again, you guys ultimately have to make this work for you, so it might be a little bit different. I just want to, give you guys some ideas so you guys can see what you need to do. So let's say you get out your planner, and, let's say on Monday morning at 4:30 a.m., you're going to wake up, you're going to have some water, you're going to have a cup of coffee, and you're going to read your goals. Then at 4:45, when you guys start exercising, you're going to go ahead and exercise and stretch. And you're going to do that, say, for 30 minutes. At 5:15, then you're going to have meal number 1, and you're going to have some water. Now, again, these guys are examples. I just want to give you guys some, how I would do it. All right, so at 5:30 a.m., you're getting in the shower, and you're getting ready for work. At 6:30 a.m., then you leave for work. From 6:30 to 7 a.m. on your way to work, maybe you're drinking some more water, and maybe you have meal number 2. Now, since you're driving to work or whatever, maybe you have a meal replacement shake or a meal replacement nutrition bar, or you're eating something simple and easy from the Eating Survival Kit. But that's a really good way to get the second meal in before you get to work. Remember, we're trying to eat 3 to 5 meals a day to keep that metabolism going and get your energy going as well. Now, again, this is just an example. You don't have to do this. I'm just giving you guys some ideas. So let's say from 7 to 10 a.m. then, you're going to try and squeeze in meal number 2 sometime in those 3-hour time frame. And you guys can see I didn't put like 8 a.m. exactly because I know a lot of you, again, if you're a nurse, you might not be able to get a meal in right at that 8 a.m. But if you give yourself a little bit of a leeway from, let's say, 7 to 10 again, you're going to try and squeeze a meal in. And again, if you don't get it in, it's not a big deal. Again, we're just trying to create some structure to keep us on track. Then maybe at, in between 10 and 2 p.m., maybe you have meal number 2 or meal number 3, and maybe that's when you actually have a good solid meal, because maybe you actually get a 15-minute break at lunchtime sometime. Then maybe from 2 to 4 p.m., again, you're trying to eat meal number 3 or meal number 4. And again, if you can't have a solid meal or something, again, maybe you're having a meal replacement, or again, something really quick and easy from your eating survival kit that you're going to create. And maybe at like 6 p.m. then, you have meal number 4 or meal number 5, which is probably going to be like around dinner time. Maybe at 7 p.m. then, you're going to start preparing your meals for tomorrow. And then at 8:30 p.m., you're going to bed. So this is something that you would write down very specifically like this in your planner every single day. Now, I highly suggest you be as detailed as you can for the first, I would say 2 to 3 months when you guys start doing this. After 2 or 3 months, and you can start, being a little bit, slacking off maybe just a little bit with this, as long as you're still writing something down every single day. But this gives you guys a structured plan that you can follow. And then again, if you get off track, you know how to get back on track again. But this is so important to create this structure for you and have a planner so you guys can get moving in the right direction. Now, is it going to be perfect? Definitely not. But again, when you get off track, at least you know how to get back on track again. Now, that one I just showed you again was really simple. You guys might have to be a little bit more detailed in your plan. You might have to put your kids' activities down because that's going to affect when you're going to eat and things like that. Always get a cooler and a water bottle. Make sure you guys are carrying that around with you everywhere that you go. Keep it in your car. Bring it with you. Again, it's going to be so important. You guys need to carry that around everywhere you go so that you got something when you need it. So here's an example of an evening shift. Let's say that you work from like 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I see people who work the evening shift is when they get done with work, they come home and they go ahead and try and go to bed right away. In my opinion, that's a really big mistake because you're not creating a consistent sleep pattern. So what I suggest is that when you guys get home, let's say you work at 7:30 a.m. and you get home at 8 p.m. Let's say let's say you work from 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. You're staying up from 7:30 a.m. to around noon. That's when you go to bed. But let's say like at 8 p.m. you wake up then. That's when you're going to wake. You're going to have your water, your coffee. You're going to read your goals. Maybe then, that's a misprint, sorry. Maybe at 8:30 p.m. then you're going to exercise and stretch. Maybe at 9 p.m. then you're going to have your first meal and drink some more water. Maybe at 9:30 p.m. then you're getting in the shower to get ready for work. Maybe 10:30 p.m. then you're leaving for work. From 10:30 to 11 p.m. maybe you're getting some more water. Again, maybe you're trying to squeeze in meal number 2 again with a meal replacement shake or a nutrition bar. Maybe between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. you're having meal number 2. Maybe between 2 and 4 a.m. you're having meal number 2 if you weren't able to get it in, or meal number 3. Maybe again that's sometime you get your consistent break. Between 4 and 7 a.m. then maybe you're trying to get meal number 3 or meal number 4. Maybe at 10 a.m. then you're having meal number 4 or number 5. And maybe at 11 a.m. then what you're doing is preparing your meals for tomorrow. And then at 12 p.m. you're going to bed. And again, this is what I suggest if you're working the evening shift, if you can. Now again, you might not be able to make it happen, but whatever works best for you, you got to be consistent with it every single day. You got to be consistent. Create that structure and create that habit. Now, you guys also need a good sleep plan then. If you're a nurse, again, the majority of my clients are nurses, 80% of them are nurses, because, again, that's who I target on the internet. But you got to have a good sleep plan. Most nurses have a really, really inconsistent sleep. So sleep is really important for weight loss, but, again, it can be challenging for nurses. So if you have trouble with sleep, you can design a sleep plan that's going to help you. Now, here's what I suggest, but, again, you're going to have to take all this information and design your own plan. So, number 1 here, you want to assess your current sleep patterns. So keep a sleep diary for at least a week to understand current sleep patterns. You want to know what time you're going to bed, what time you're usually waking up, if you're waking up, 2 or 3 hours after you go to sleep, and any disturbances. Write that all down. And then that's going to give you an idea of where you need to make improvements. And then choose a bedtime and a wake-up time that aligns with your work schedule, and it allows you for a consistent sleep routine even on your days off. That's so important. Even on your days off, if you're, let's say you work the evening shift and on your days off you're doing like a day shift, on your days off, you still have to design a sleep pattern that's going to work for you on your days off. Now, what you want to try to do then is wind down like 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime with some like calming activities like reading, gentle stretching maybe, listening to calming music. Maybe you're taking a warm bath, you're doing some really light yoga, maybe you're doing some deep breathing or some meditation. This is so important because this will help wind you down and calm you down and get you ready to go to bed. Now, you want to ensure that your bedroom is like in a cool, dark, and quiet place. You might want to invest in blackout curtains, like some comfortable bedding, and consider using white noise if there's external disturbances. Also, avoid caffeine at least 6 hours before bedtime, and avoid really, really heavy meals close to bedtime. Remember, stick to your plan as best as you can. Try not to eat those big, heavy meals. Keep things to portion sizes like we talked about. And incorporating exercise into the daily routine, aiming for at least 30 minutes on most days, because exercise can improve sleep quality. Now, this is one thing that's been very consistent over my career over the last 24 years, is when I have people and clients start exercising right away in the morning, I would say at least 60 to 70% of them come back and tell me they're sleeping better at nighttime. Exercise in the morning, right when you get up, it wakes you up. It's like a big alarm clock. You have a lot more energy when you exercise, and it just, helps improve your whole entire day, and then you sleep better at nighttime. So when you guys do start exercising, I highly suggest you try to do it right away in the morning if you can. And we're going to talk more about that in 2 weeks when we talk about the Furman 15 routine. And I will incorporate this exercise into your program as well and show you guys how to do it the right way. Now, if you do have to take naps, you want to keep your naps nice and short, like 20 to 30 minutes, and avoid napping too close to bedtime. If you're taking really long naps, say longer than 30 minutes to an hour, that will affect your sleep when you should be trying to focus on 6 to 8 hours of consistent sleep. And then minimize exposure to your screens, your phones, your tablets, your computers, at least an hour before you go to bed, as the blue light, can interfere with the melatonin production, and that's going to affect your sleep. All right, now after you guys do this, for a good month or 6 weeks, and you want to, monitor it, just like you did in the beginning, and then make adjustments. You want to regularly assess the effectiveness of your sleep plan and make adjustments as needed. And it may take some time for your body to adjust to the new sleep routine. And remember, consistency is key when it comes to improving sleep quality. It's essential to prioritize sleep as crucial component. It's a crucial component for your weight loss. Now, you guys got to take action. Now, this coaching session might not seem, like important to you, because again, it's not nutrition related, it's not exercise related, but I promise you this is more important than the exercise and the nutrition, because if you guys don't have this down, the nutrition and exercise just won't work. You don't have a good plan. So you guys want to take some action now. So remember, create a myfitnesspal.com account and start logging your food 1 day a week. Create your emergency eating kit and put it at work. That's really important. So again, go ahead and get that document that I created for you in the membership site, or go ahead and get it inside the Facebook group. Look it over. If you have questions, ask me in the group, and then start creating your emergency eating kit, and then create new rules for your life and start living by them. This is so important. Everything you guys have done up to this point has gotten to you has gotten you to where you're at, and you're not happy where you're at. So you guys got to make a 180 and create new rules, and then start living by those rules. Buy a planner. Remember, create your daily plan. Everything that's happening, create a good plan and create an eating plan. Create your new sleep plan and start implementing it if you're having problems with your sleep. And again, this is the most important step for weight loss. You got to plan. Remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And remember, reach out for help. If you guys need help with this, it can be confusing when you've never when you've never done this before. So post and reach out to me in the group, or when we're doing our Zoom calls every 2 weeks, hop on the Zoom calls and make sure you guys talk with me. Don't be intimidated. Don't think some kind of question is silly. There's no such thing as a silly question. All right, so here's what's coming in 2 weeks then. We're going to start implementing the strength training part of the program, the Furman 15. And again, the reason why we want to implement this, again, it's going to help get your metabolism going, and it's going to further help accelerate your calorie deficit so that you keep losing weight. Now, the great thing about this is that you can do it right from the privacy of your own home. You don't need any expensive equipment. We're going to start with just body weight exercises for you guys. So again, you can do it right from privacy of your home, and it's only 15 minutes, and we're going to slowly work our way up to 15 minutes. Once you guys get to 15 minutes, if you start enjoying it and you want to do more to help accelerate your results, then I'll start adding more time for you, and that's what I'm here for you. I'm your coach. I'll know how to keep things progressive and ongoing for you. And again, I'm going to design a complete exercise plan. I will have a 6-day per week exercise plan, ultimately to help create a great calorie deficit. This is what I highly recommend, is you exercise 5 to 6 days a week for weight loss. But again, we will ease your way into this. We'll start you guys out with a couple days a week, but you guys got to ask me. You got to use me. I can't read your brains, and I don't know what you're doing until you tell me. So please reach out in the Facebook group and get help from me. That's so important. All right, so I hope you guys learned a lot today. Now, again, this was a quick video. It was only about 25 minutes. But again, this is the most important part when it comes to weight loss. Remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you guys have questions, please reach out in the Facebook group. Otherwise, go ahead and remember, every other Monday, we are doing a live Zoom call at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please hop on those calls when you guys can, because I want to help you guys achieve your goals. All right, guys, I'll talk with you guys in the next video in 2 weeks for coaching video number 4 when we start implementing Furman 15.